All right, thanks for joining me at FutureMoneyTrends.com. We're here with Bill Murphy, legendary in the gold community. Him and his partner Chris have really spearheaded fighting the gold cartel and the manipulation and really educating a lot of people. GATA.org is the organization. It's a nonprofit civil rights organization. Bill, thanks for being with us today.
Great to be here.
Bill, there's a lot of people out there who are looking at the gold market. They have no clue about the manipulation. I know you've been in the commodities industry for many decades, and just try to explain to us, how does the manipulation work? What do you mean when you say the cartel is manipulating the gold price?
Well, first of all, the cartel consists of the United States government, the Fed, the Treasury, bullion banks like J.P. Morgan Chase, and other central banks like the Bank of England and so on, that have been actively suppressing the gold price for a very long time. And basically, it's real simple, because it's bad for business when gold goes up. They don't make any money on it. It's bad for the political incumbents. What happens every time there's gold spikes up? They talk about too much inflation. They talk about a crisis. And so what they're doing is that they've been keeping the price lower than where it should be. And what's happening now is the reason gold's been up now 12 years in a row. They're just managing the retreat, keeping the excitement out of it, working over the shares, getting people discouraged. I mean, even though the price is above $1,700 an ounce. So because of that, and what's important for your listeners to understand and for other people to understand, the price is going to go ballistic because it's way too low.
The manipulation, then, is it in the bigger picture? Is it a curse, or is it actually a gift to the average Joe?
GATA had to add $260,000 we paid for a full-page color ad in a Wall Street Journal, January 31st, 2008, in which he talked about the price of gold going to $3,000 to $5,000. It was below $1,000 then, and that it was going to create catastrophe and disaster because of what they're doing. They're not letting the free market forces work. 2 months later, we had the financial crisis in 2008. 2 months! And guess what? Not one mainstream reporter contacted us. Why did you write all this stuff? Or how right you were? Nothing. Just silence.
When it comes to gold, the gold price, many people track it every day. They have charts, they have analysis. Because of what you know and because of what you're tracking, do you even care about what the gold price is today?
Yeah, I do, because one, I'm in a business, and when it goes up, I make money, and when it goes down, I don't, and people get discouraged. But why is it so important to know what GATA knows is because most of the sharp takedowns are created by this gold cartel. They raid the market with derivatives and so on, and we know it won't last because of the supply-demand situation, which is much better than the public and even the mainstream gold world knows. So we know all these things are opportunities to buy before it goes back up again. And that's the same with silver, which is likely to explode this year. If silver is not above $60 an ounce, it's only 33 now and plus, I'll be shocked by the end of the year.
How far does this go? Do you think President Obama knows about the gold manipulation the Treasury and the Federal Reserve is involved in?
They're all the same. God has been with the Bush people, the Clinton people. We've met with Ron Paul a couple of times. He knows what we know. He's asked for our advice on things, on what to do. I think President Clinton said he did something like, I didn't realize when I became president I wouldn't be running the show, or something like that. It doesn't matter who's elected. It's the big money behind the scenes that runs everything, and that's what God has spent all this time trying to expose, because eventually it's creating a horror show in America because we're going broke. I mean, this is something that other people could talk about and know so well, and it just goes on and on and on, and nothing's ever done about it.
Is there evidence, or do you think that Ben Bernanke is watching that, tracking that gold price every day?
Yeah, I would say. I mean, he knows. The funniest thing is, how many times have you heard people outside of the Ron Paul recently, in part because of what we helped him with, do people ask questions to him specifically, or do people like him about gold? It's the one thing that nobody will talk about. I mean, GATA sued the Fed, and we won a partial victory. We got a $3,000 check from them. The court ordered them to pay us, and we learned about what they were doing in gold swaps and certain things, and it's going to be one of the big scandals of all time, like a Madoff, like Enron and so on. And when the whole thing breaks and gold's at $4,600, and finally they actually have an audit of the Fed and find out what we're doing, it's terrible. But that's what, if it wasn't for that, I guess GATA wouldn't exist.
But where's this going? How long can the manipulation last? I mean, it's gone on for decades now. Are we nearing its very end, or is it just kind of hard to gauge where we are?
It is hard to gauge where we are, but again, we're up 12 years in a row because they're managing a retreat. Demand is much greater than supply. The central banks they've been using up all the ammo, the gold they have. They're gradually running out. And silver, I don't know what the heck they're doing with they're keeping that from exploding, but that's thanks to JP Morgan. But it's getting very close now where you're going to get to the acceleration stage, and it could kick in any day, honestly.
How do they stop the price? When you look at the gold charts, you've mentioned certain times of the day, fairly consistently, it's capped. It will stop its run. How do they stop the price?
As I mentioned recently, I was at this conference in Vancouver. I told people to look for it. It happens almost every day. It's at 3 a.m. New York time when the gold cartel traders go to work in London. Many times that's when they stop the price. Then all the physical pricing for the day is what they call a London fix, and which is where most of the pricing is done for the day around 10:30 New York time. They attack after that. They attack, the first one is Plan A, then Plan B, and then when the COMEX closes, Plan C. Then they manipulate the shares to tip off traders, and it's just all kinds of things. And it's you can see it. I mean, most people could care less and don't do, but that's what I do all day long. I've been seeing this for 13 years.
Good point. So when you say attack, for the guy who just bought his first ounce of gold and he maybe bought some gold mining shares after the show, when you say attack, what do you mean? What's the transaction?
What they do is sometimes they put physical gold into the marketplace, but often they use what they call the derivatives market, which is futures, and they just start trading it, and they affect the market. And other traders know what they're doing. If you're a trader, want to make a living, I mean, I've seen a pattern for 13 years. If I was a gold trader, I'd be trading with them. It's like they're just giving you money. So what they do is, and other people know what they're doing, and they keep quiet about it because they make a lot of money. And I could go on and on about this, and I'm not guessing on this. I know this for facts, and from certain people that have been out having beers with them. Let me leave it that way.
When it comes to the silver market, there's obviously an industrial aspect of the silver as opposed to gold. Gold is more just money. Where do you see silver going if we have an economic collapse in fiat currency crisis?
Well, good question. Gold's going to become so expensive, and people are going to flock to silver because it is money. I mean, it's part of our own history, and because of what JP Morgan has done in the short position, it's going to go ballistic. I would imagine that sometime in the next year or two there'll be defaults. I think silver was going to go well over $100 an ounce. People are invested in some of these silver companies, producers, and are just going to make a fortune. And people that own silver are going to make, even now, they'll triple their money.
Your paid service, if you could just share what is it and what will people get if they sign up?
Yeah, well, Gada.org is a free thing that my colleague Chris Powell does a great job, and I have something called the Metropole Cafe. It's people can sign up for a 2-week free trial, and then if they like it, it's $299, and put out stuff every day and all kinds of things. And we've been right again for gold and silver for a long time, and if we're right, it's just the beginning of something spectacular, especially in these beaten down shares. It's been a horror show the past couple of years, and quite frankly, I didn't see that it would be so bad. But as bad as it's been, it's going to be that good. So now's the time for people to look at an investment opportunity of a lifetime.
One final question. Once we see this manipulation scheme exposed, like you said, it's going to be bigger than Madoff. Where do you see the gold investors? What do you see them as far as what's next? What's the next great investment? What do you convert your gold into when it's at $5,000 an ounce?
Well, I would just say that right now these shares have been so bad for so long, and I know I've lost a lot of money the past couple of years. So I want to make it before I think where I'm going to put it, and that's actually a great question. I'm going to think about it then, but I just want to stress now, you're talking 10 baggers all over the place in the next few years. And so that's all I'm thinking about, and then if it gets there, I'll be... who knows? Maybe I'll just pack it in.
Bill, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything you do.
Enjoyed it. Good questions.